Hello everybody, welcome back to Goodison Park, welcome back to Everton Live for the penultimate home game of the season, and what a ginormous game it is today. I'm delighted to be joined by Diamond, Graham Stewart, for this one. Graham, how are you feeling?
I feel alright, I feel quite calm about things at this moment in time. It obviously helps that the fact that scores are going okay for us so far today, and as we stand here now, I believe Brighton are 1-0 up in Ellen Road, but ultimately it's about what we do. We obviously it's a natural thing to do, to look across and see how the teams that are around us are doing, but ultimately it's about what we do at 4:30.
That's right, absolutely. 4:30 is today's kickoff time for this massive game versus Brentford. But let's have a quick look at what's to come for you here on a very windy Everton Live. We will have the highlights of Brentford. That was Frank Lampard's first game in charge, of course, the 4-1 victory in the FA Cup. We'll have the player arrivals, and what an arrival it has been. We can hear them currently behind us on Goodison Road. We will have the team news from Everton, from Brentford. We'll have a look at Everton's USA tour, which is coming in the pre-season. I spoke to Andy from the Syracuse Toffees. I just spoke to Mick Rathbone as well. It was fantastic to hear from him, and some fantastic anecdotes on his return to Goodison Park. We're talking mental health with Everton in the community. We'll hear from Frank Lampard, and as ever, the live commentary will be on evertonfc.com. Yeah, so Diamond, obviously we were just talking about the fans there. I was walking to work a few hours, good 3 hours before kickoff, and already hundreds of people lining the streets of Goodison Road.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it, Sarah? I was talking to somebody who told me that Stanley Park's, you can virtually walk through Stanley Park at the moment. They've got people having picnics and all sorts of stuff going on. It's incredible. We turned up, myself and Snods turned up about 5 to 2. And we couldn't get the car through. Honestly, it was absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's just, you didn't think you could ever top the Chelsea scenario, but we just have out there today, and the fans they've more than played their part in putting us in the position where we find ourselves at this moment in time.
100%, and of course the game at Leicester as well, which was a massive victory. It was so important that we followed up the win against Chelsea with a victory away, which we've done so seldom this season. And the fans there as well, not just at Goodison Park, the fans are incredible, and after Watford as well, the Toffees are just absolutely bouncing at the moment,
the thing for us is that our away form is ultimately why we're where we are. The home form, it's been patchy, but since Frank's come along, it's been a hell of a lot better, miles better. And the away form now, to win at Leicester on the back of winning against Chelsea here, was huge, absolutely huge. And then to follow that up with what perhaps doesn't look like a great point at Watford, because you fancy us going there and winning, but ultimately, the game's about picking points up, and it might just be an important point for us, the one we got at Vicarage Road. Well,
that's it, isn't it? It wasn't a loss, and I think you can be a little bit frustrated, but 7 points out of 9 is fantastic. Let's make it 10 out of 12 today. But first, let's whet our appetite with this one, with a look at the last time Brentford visited Goodison Park.
Looking for the breakthrough here at Goodison, and they've got it! Yerry Mina on as an early substitute, and it's paid dividends in a strange way. Not initially selected, but nodding home to give Everton the first goal in the Frank Lampard era. Here's Allen, Richarlison getting in behind. Richarlison's got there and scored for Everton. Just what those in the Gladys Street were looking for. Everton lead 2-0. Richarlison, to the delight of Frank Lampard. Is that the job done this afternoon? And they've got a chance to get back into it here, but Pickford has conceded a penalty. Up steps Tony. Can Pickford be the hero? No, he's gone the wrong way. Murray Gray. Mina's trying to meet it. It's in from Holgate. Everton have got a third. Mason Holgate in the FA Cup. Celebrates in front of those in the Gladys Street. He's got there to keep it for Everton. Townsend made a run towards the penalty. He's got a touch from Iwobi. Townsend, brilliant! Seals the victory in style. 4 for Everton in the 4th round of the Cup. 4 big smiles all around Goodison. Frank Lampard is wearing the broadest of those smiles.
We are getting absolutely soaked here. I'm not entirely sure what to do at this point. We've got the team arrivals on the screen. Yeah, Diamond's left me there. Diamond's left me in the front line there for the sprinklers. But I guess we just talk now about the scenes that we can see on the screen there, Diamond, as we get absolutely pelted by the Goodison sprinklers. The scenes are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, the scenes are incredible. But I'll tell you, I'm forget the scenes. I'm more interested in seeing Bob, the groundsman, because I'm going to absolutely wring his neck.
Yeah.
But there we go. We've got a nice little sprinkling of water for us, keep us fresh. But the scenes out there are absolutely incredible. They really are.
Well, the scenes are here have been absolutely incredible there, as we just got absolutely destroyed by the sprinklers. But no, I mean, it's just another thing to add to the madness of the season, isn't it? The Alsatian on Goodison Road, the fella stapling himself to the goalposts. But no, how fantastic is that? Look, the team coach, we weren't sure the coach was going to get here, were we?
No, I mean, we saw it against the Chelsea with the Chelsea game, didn't we? The plumes of blue smoke down Goodison Road. It was incredible to just savour, actually. I mean, the coach driver's done well to even see where he was going, but it's been much of the same again. But look, as I said to you, this is the unity of the football club. It shows how powerful our football club is when we all stick together. We all sing from the same song sheet and pull in the same direction. We're a strong club. And we have had disappointments. There's no dressing it up, and there'll be a time to look back at the end of the season and look at things and mistakes that have been made and hold your hands up and what have you. But as it is now, we've got 3 games left, and let's make sure that we get as many points as we can. But we could, all things being equal, this afternoon potentially be safe. And if you'd said that to me a couple of weeks ago, I'd have maybe laughed at you.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility this afternoon.
Well, that's it. We really have done things the difficult way, haven't we? And I think, that win against Chelsea was massive in terms of giving us that belief, because if we'd have lost that, we'd have found ourselves 5 points cut adrift. And you can say all you want about games in hand, it's about points, and you don't want Everton in that relegation zone. We've pulled ourselves out of it. And as you said, today, we could confirm our Premier League safety. That is the ultimate prize, and that has to be the motivation. Obviously, results depending, but regardless, let's just get this win today and keep it in our hands.
Yeah, we have to, absolutely, and that's what I said at the top of the show, Sarah. We have to do our own job first and foremost. We can't work out what's going to happen. We can hope and pray that Brighton beat Leeds, and obviously Tottenham have done the business with an important game for them against Burnley. So we've got to go out at 4:30 and make sure that the players are focused. I mean, what more focus can you possibly have, knowing that if you win or draw, with 2 games to go, you're safe and secure in the Premier League, and the crowd will be incredible. And hopefully the players will feed off the energy of the crowd, because it will be something else, the atmosphere, if we know that 1 or 3 points keeps us up.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to remember as well, we kept a clean sheet. Jordan Pickford has been absolutely out of this world, and we owe him so much, if we do stay up, because his performances for a long time, but particularly in recent weeks, have been fantastic. We don't want to concede today, but if we do, say Brentford take the lead today, we've got to keep that belief, haven't we? Don't want to see like against Leicester, where they scored the first goal and it kind of dropped. These fans today, even if Brentford do score a goal, because they're a good side, we've got to keep the atmosphere going throughout, haven't we, and will the boys on? Yeah,
of course. I mean, Brentford are in decent form, it has to be said. I mean, there was a time when it looked like they could do what Leeds have done and drop themselves into it, and Brentford were looking like that, not so long ago, but they've gone and had a really good purple patch, so they're going to come here full of confidence. They've got nothing to lose. They can relax and play. All the pressure's on us. So it's a case of, can the players deal with the pressure? They've dealt with it so far over the last few weeks, and that's been a big plus. I think there's been an intensity about us. There's been better game management.
Definitely.
And ultimately, that's what's got us in the position that we're in now, with an opportunity to stay in the Premier League, hopefully this afternoon. But I think the players will react to the fans. I really do. I mean, honestly, the atmosphere will be incredible. We're that close, because I defy any Evertonian, even the most optimistic Evertonian, at some point 3 or 4 weeks ago, and certainly before the Chelsea game, we all recognise what was happening.
Yeah,
and if we got turned over by Chelsea that afternoon, our life was going to be incredibly difficult and nigh on impossible. And if, because of the Chelsea win, I think we then followed that up with the Leicester win. You know, it could have easily gone the other way. If we got beat by Chelsea, I'm not so sure that we'd have gone to Leicester and won. So it's been precarious, and you know, everybody has to have a look at themselves. But let's just get over the line. Let's get the job done, and then the talk starts in the summer, and what needs to be done and what needs to be done better can all be dealt with then. It's the here and now that matters. It
is the here and now. We can deal with all that once we confirm and get this job done and over the line. Now, somebody who probably feels they've got a say to have still in this is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, the last sort of 15 minutes or so he played against Watford. Do you think Frank will start him today and maybe put Richie back on the wing on the left? And, you know, he'll be somebody, I'm sure, as I said, dying and desperate to have a say in this.
Oh, absolutely. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? I mean, it's been a nightmare for Dominic. It's been a nightmare for us, because when you lose your centre forward who scores you 20 odd goals a season, or did do last season, that hurts any kind of football side, let alone, you know, a side that's been struggling in the lower half of the table. So I think Frank might take a gamble on him, because I think it's going to be like a cup final.
Yeah.
And if you're playing in a cup final, you want your centre forward on the pitch. So I think, I've said this before, I personally prefer Richie from one of the wide areas as opposed to up top on his own. So I think if you've got a chance, and I think Frank's been patient with Dominic as well, and the fact that he hasn't come back and thrown him straight in, he's given him a couple of games, a couple more weeks training to just try and get his fitness levels into a better shape. But what better time for Dominic to sort us out now this afternoon? Come out and, you know, if you're the centre forward of Everton Football Club, there's a huge responsibility on your shoulders. Take it on board this afternoon and save us.
Yes, please do. And we have got the player arrivals on the screen now. You can see Frank Lampard and the boys being welcomed to Goodison Park as they were against Chelsea by just rapturous applause and ovation. That nice aggression that we talked about, and that has got to make the boys feel about 10 feet tall. Mykolenko there as well. What a player he has been after a rocky start, you know, all things considered as well, of everything he's got going on in his life. It was a difficult start to him for his life at Goodison Park, but in recent weeks he is just growing into that role at left back, isn't he?
I agree with that. I think Mykolenko's been excellent. You know, it obviously took him a few games to just settle down. It's a different environment for him, off the field situation for the poor lad, going, you know, what he's going through personally, and just a change of football club as well. Yeah, just let me break in here, because staring at me is the groundsman Bob, who's he's responsible for soaking us, and he's grinning like a Cheshire cat.
We'll have words after we mate.
Your day will come. But no, I mean, look, you're coming in now, and if that doesn't inspire you as a player and get the juices flowing, then nothing's ever going to do it. And I think the lads have seen it over the last couple of weeks, obviously down at Finch Farm and last game here at Chelsea. So in some respects they're used to it, which won't be a bad thing. It won't come as a shock to them. They knew what was going to happen, and they know that the fans are united and behind them, and they'll give them every drop of blood and sweat that they can as a set of fans. All they have to do is replicate that out here.
Definitely, that's what we've got to do. And Frank Lampard, you know, he's been enjoying his life at Everton, and the special bond that he has with the fans as well is something to behold. You just see Yerry Mina there walking past us. He'll be absolutely devastated not to be able to play today. But talking about the players that are in contention, we mentioned some of them there. Is it a chance Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if he gets the nod to start, it's a chance for him. Anthony Gordon, Richarlison. There's all those players at COYB, there's a chance to write themselves into Everton folklore today, isn't it? Who wants to step up? And we don't care who it is.
No.
We don't care who it is at the end of the day. And we've got team news coming for you in about 30 seconds. But they'll be all desperate to step up and write their names.
You'd like to think that they'll be absolutely desperate to be starting the game. You want to be in Frank's 11, because as you say, Sarah, you know, you've got a chance to be in Everton folklore and drag us over the line. And we don't care who it is. Just somebody drag us over the line and get us the points that we need, so that we can perhaps relax a little bit on Thursday night at home to Crystal Palace, as opposed to walking here panicking. You know, it's a wonderful opportunity for us here this afternoon, and we've just got to grasp it.
It's huge. It is absolutely huge. And here is the team news for you in this massive game this afternoon for Everton. So we, of course, are starting with the mighty Blues of Everton. Come on, you Toffees. In goal, number 1, Jordan Pickford. Number 4, Mason Holgate. 8, 7, Richarlison, and there he is, number 9, Dominic Calvert-Lewin does get the nod to lead the line today for Everton. 16, Abdoulaye Doucouré, 17, and what a player he's been recently, Alex Iwobi, 19, Vitaly Mykolenko, 21, Andre Gomes as well in there, 23, Captain Seamus Coleman, 24, Anthony Gordon, and 32, Jared Brantwaite starts today for Everton. Let's have a look at the bench. Asmir Begovic, John Joe Kenny, Alan, Damari Gray, Tom Davis, Salomon Rondon, Dele, Isaac Price and Reece Welch there as well. So some of the young boys on the bench for Everton, and of course manager Frank Lampard. Let's have a look at the visitors. Brentford, David Raya starts in goal, Rico Henry, Christian Norgard, Matthias Jensen, Johan Wissa, Ivan Toney, of course, we'll have to keep our eyes on him. Pontus Jansson, Brian Mbeno, Christopher Adja, Christian Eriksen, of course, a fantastic player, and Mads Bak Sorensen as well. Jonas Lossell on the bench for Brentford as well. Sergi Candos, we've got Josh Da Silva, Jean Via, Miles Pert-Harris, Shandon Baptiste, Vitaly Janelt, Mads Rolson and Finlay Stevens as well. Apologies for...
Do you know what, Sarah? I love moments like this when you have to read those names out and I don't have to.
Do you know what? Sometimes I even as well try and look at the pronunciation in advance to try and get it. And yeah. I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't read them that well. So all I can do is apologise to those boys.
It's not much fun, is it?
It's not much fun. So I'll probably be getting pelters for that. But never mind. It's all about the Toffees today, isn't it?
Correct.
It's all about the Toffees. And that team we've just seen, Dominic Calvert-Lewin does start. Jared Brantwaite in there as well. A few interesting ones maybe. Gomes as well.
Yeah, Andre coming back's good. I mean, we like to see. We know what Andre brings to the side, a composure in the middle of the park and, some passing ability. The retention of the ball is always good when Andre's playing as well. The big thing for me, great to see Dominic playing. It doesn't surprise me one little bit that Frank's taken the gamble with Dominic, or, he's, a calculated gamble, shall we say. But what a big afternoon it is going to be for Jared Brantwaite.
Massive.
That's the big one for me, because obviously there's an issue with, we know the one about Yerry. Michael Keane's clearly not available either, so Jared steps up, and it's going to be a big afternoon for the young man, and I hope he can grasp it with both hands and just relax and enjoy the occasion for what it is.
Let's hope so. And of course we did see Brantwaite come in when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, those months ago, and whenever he's been called upon this season, to be fair to him, he has looked solid, and hopefully, with the home crowd behind him, again, we spoke about the opportunity to write yourselves into history here, and hopefully he'll be able to say, I played a solid game for Everton and kept them in the Premier League.
But the good thing as well is, he gives you balance as well, Jared. With him being left-footed, he's a good size. He'll obviously play on the left-hand side. Mason will probably play, to the right, as it were. I'm guessing we're going to go with a flat back 4.
Yes.
And obviously, Milenko on left back. So there's a nice sort of balance to that side of the park, as it is with the right-hand side with Mason and Seamus. So it's set up nicely, but Jared's got to take a few deep breaths because he will be nervous, there's no doubt about it, but clearly he's a talented boy, and as I say, he's got good size, useful at the other end for set pieces as well, as we saw against Chelsea earlier on in the season. So he's a good prospect, but he'll be nervous, so the lads have got to get round him and help him as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we haven't got too long to go now till kick-off. The nerves / excitement are building. I'm verging towards excitement now, I think. And something that our American Toffees are very excited about is the announcement of our American tour. Let's have a little look now. Welcome back to Everton Live. I am delighted to be joined by Andy Woodring from the Syracuse Toffees, who's come all the way over with his mates from America for this massive game. Now, Andy, thank you for joining us to start with. I just actually bumped into you on Goodison Road, didn't I, walking down here?
I recognized you walking down the street on your way to work, and it was great to see you there. get to chat before this.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, we were talking, weren't we, about how you actually booked this specific game a whole 12 months prior to this. So you didn't know the magnitude and the, you know, how important this game was going to be in Everton's recent history. So how does it feel to be here where Everton could potentially secure our Premier League safety?
They will secure Premier League safety today, and but it just fell in the line that this became such an important match for the club, for us. You know, we don't know when the next time we'll be coming back is, so it's great to have a meaningful match here today.
Yeah. Well, we were talking as well about the passion you have, and we've already spoken about the fact that, of course, Everton are going to be coming out to the States this summer, and you guys at the Syracuse Toffees have already planned the hotels, have planned the trips, and you are going to be there supporting in full force, aren't you?
It was very exciting news, you know, having something on the East Coast close to us, and so we started planning the second we saw it. We got a big group of people coming down from all over the States. People are flying in from the West Coast, so we're very excited about this trip.
Well, we're very excited to see you out there as well. No doubt it's going to be incredible. We've got such passionate fans over the pond, across the water, and I saw that on Goodison Road when I saw you, and you guys are just so excited to be here and impact this game with your voices today and hopefully roll those Blues over the line.
We're doing what we can. We're doing our part, and the club will do their part today, I guarantee it. We'll be safe by the end of the day. But the fans out there on Goodison Road and elsewhere, it's wild to see this all coming together at this point in the season. It's fantastic to see and be a part of.
It truly is fantastic, isn't it? And, you know, here now, pitch side, a few hours before kickoff even, the noise that is coming from Goodison Road. And we were just talking off air before about the Leicester game and how in America they remained on that away end for like minutes and minutes after the game. We said when people ask why Everton, that's why Everton, isn't it?
Exactly, that's why. You know, it's much more than the football on the pitch. It's a family here that we're a part of, and us in the States are really grasping onto that. You know, we're Syracuse Toffees is a small group, but we're growing. But the fandom and the you know, the camaraderie amongst all of us across the pond in here, it's been fantastic. So we're a very welcoming club. You've welcomed me here, so this is fantastic.
It's brilliant, and I'm going to have to get down to Syracuse and see you boys as well, and girls in the future, no doubt, and get down there and experience it, because I say all the time on this show, you know, the passion that you guys have, not being able to come to Goodison all the time, but still getting up at ridiculous hours in the morning and of the night to watch your beloved Everton. It's fantastic.
Yeah, shout out to the West Coast Toffees in America. They have to wake up super early. You know, our matches are usually 9 a.m., so it's not too bad, but yeah, we're up and we're ready, and we all meet together, you know, enjoy the beautiful game with the greatest fans in the world.
It's the greatest fans in the world. You heard it. It's fantastic. And for anybody wanting to get involved and join the Syracuse Toffees, have you got your social media handles and stuff like that for people?
Yeah, we're Syracuse Toffees on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm most active on Twitter, so reach out if you're ever in the States. Even if it's not in Syracuse, you know, we'll find a spot. We'll find it where the other Blues are, and we'll get you together and hooked up.
Absolutely. Or just to finish on, how much would it mean to you to see Everton get the 3 points today and hopefully be indulging in celebrations that will probably be some of the greatest we've seen for decades?
It'll be something memorable, something I'll remember forever. I'm here with my family, and some of them, you know, haven't been to a match. I haven't been since 2003, 2004.
Wow.
It's been quite a while. So I'm happy to be here, part of this atmosphere. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll remember it forever. It's going to happen. We're getting the 3 points. It's going to happen.
Andy, you've just given me a proper little kick up the backside there. I'm really excited now and ready to go. And we'll see you in the summer, I guess.
Yeah, see you in Baltimore and Minnesota. We're ready for you.
Brilliant.
We're welcome in the States.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I hope that you and your family have a day that you'll be able to treasure forever.
And we'll remember it forever, no matter what.
Fantastic. Up the Toffees. I'm ready to go. Love that. Let's do it. Well, here is a VT from something that's fantastic to see. Here's Asmir Begovic and Kenza Dali as part of the Refugees programme.
Tonight is called Everton Welcomes, and it's all about Everton as a football club having a responsibility to use our influence within communities to help people who are refugees and asylum seekers integrate into the new communities that they find themselves in. It's about bringing people into a room who would not normally have had an experience of a refugee and asylum seeker, and to help them to understand what that experience might be and how that those people who we know, you know, now but also in the past have fled countries because of war and other things feel.
What I went through is the reality of my life, you know, and It's definitely some troubled times, difficult times, but as you say, and then as I rightly wanted to send a message across, was there is positive light at the end of the tunnel. There's always positive things to come, things will improve. So it was nice to share that message. A lovely event, nice to be here, and I think it went really well.
It was really good to connecting with people that they probably have the same situation as me. I met some girls they come from exactly the same area as me in Algeria, and things like this. It's so good to connect with people like this. We share our number. No, it was a good moment. I enjoy it.
So we run a twice weekly football session for open forum, so anyone can come down if you're a refugee, asylum seeker. We also put on online workshops, so ranging from Rosetta Stone language workshops to culinary workshops to giving them financial help. It's tough to move anywhere. Some people are on their own. Some of them have been through traumatic experiences, and football's a kind of escape for them. So it's massive, and also seeing them build up social groups and friendships, just developing life skills from something as little as a football session. It's good.
Football can be the catalyst to do a lot of good in the world, and I think we have a moral duty to do that good. Just having Kenza and Asmir here talking about their own experiences will, at the very least, open up a dialogue with other members of the community to be more welcoming, because, as you know, we've got a global refugee crisis, and then you only have to look at the news on a day-to-day basis, and we can see some of the atrocities that are taking place in Ukraine and Eastern Europe. So I think we have that duty to do something about it and use football as a force for good.
The fact that Everton are one of not many clubs who do this sort of work, it's fantastic, and I always say, I'm a big believer in it. The more positive things you can do in a community, the better that community is going to be. And I think Everton do a fantastic job, not just putting events on like this, but the day-to-day work they do, and it's fantastic to see.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, at the Leicester City game, we brought 2 young asylum seekers to their first ever match, and the welcome they got from the people in the family enclosure was immense. I was really proud of the Everton supporters, and listening to the 2 players tonight was absolutely brilliant.
I always try to get in events like this because I feel it's important for people to tell them that we went through that. We know what you're actually living. You know that it's really, really hard, especially when you don't speak the language and you're far from your family. A big part of the Muslim community is based on sharing. So we always say, we're one body. So it's just to say to people here, you're not alone. And if you need us, we're here for you.
So this is literally just a drop in the ocean for what the future holds for All Together now. As a club and as a campaign, we want to make Everton Football Club, a place where everyone, regardless of who they are or how they identify, feels that they belong. We're trying to kind of build that sense of community, and because we are all in this together at the end of the day.
Welcome back to Everton Live, and I am delighted to be joined by Mick Rathbone. Mick, it's brilliant to see you here. I remember you very fondly of your days under David Moyes, and you've had a couple of spells with Everton, haven't you?
Gosh, this is like an out-of-body experience. I'm not even joking. To be sort of stood pitch side. But you know what's really funny about it? I always come to games to work and that, so you're coming to the ground early, and the kind of stadium fills in around you, behind your back and that. But to come early and to be sat having food and to see all the kind of infrastructure and the people buzzing around, it's quite educational. But this is like God, I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. There you go. I can't believe it's the official line.
It's brilliant to see, you in awe of Goodison Park after spending so many years here as well under David Moyes, who was fantastic. It was an honour,
absolute honour, seriously.
Well, it's an honour to have you here.
Oh, no, it's not.
Honestly,
it is.
And this could be a really, really famous and iconic day for Everton Football Club, couldn't it?
Yes, results have gone well. We've all been looking nervously for the last few months. It's really funny, you know, my lad plays for Rotherham, and we've been joking for ages that he hopes the next game, because they got promoted in the Championship, he's saying, I hope the first game of next season could be Everton versus Rotherham.
Oh, no.
But then, unfortunately, when Everton got in more trouble, it wasn't a joke anymore. Yeah. So we're actually now dreading that scenario. But it looks like, with the help of the supporters, I think that was always going to be the key as well, the home advantage, that hopefully we're going to be okay, and hopefully when I have to do my talk after the game, it's to a happy, smiling audience.
Let's hope so, and hopefully, you know, your lad can play Everton in a few years if Rotherham keep coming up.
Absolutely.
They keep getting promoted.
Yes, Rotherham versus Everton in the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
The season after next will be lovely.
Absolutely, it would, Mick. Now, obviously, you've got a new book out as well, The Smell of Football 2. I bet you've got some fantastic anecdotes in there for us, haven't you?
Do you know what? I've been so fortunate. I've had so many incredible, amazing times in my life. Do you want me to tell you one?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So the first book's about having no confidence, and that did well. That came out 10 years ago. The second book, though, is about getting increasingly old in football and feeling your age and that. Anyway, I was working for Manchester United. I looked after the lads on loan, and one time I had to go to Antwerp to see some of our players play. So I put my Man United suit on and tie, and I went to Antwerp. They won 5-0, and you know the Belgian people do like a drink. So I went in the players' lounge, supporters' lounge, after the game. It was carnage. People were very, very drunk. Anyway, for some reason I had my reading glasses on at the same time. So I'm in there, Man United gear, reading glasses. And, you know, I'm not famous, but I'm a kind of a little bit famous, and you become aware of when people kind of nudge, recognise you, that kind of frisson of recognition. And that started to happen in that bar in Antwerp. I thought, God, as the smell of football made its way across the ocean. Anyway, a bit later, a very drunk fan comes up to me and he unscrunches the team shirt and he goes, will you sign that, please? I said, yeah, no problem, buzzing, in fact. Anyway, I signed it and he said to me, thank you very much, Sir Bobby. I thought, Sir Bobby, God blimey, I'm 52, Sir Bobby Charles bloody 80, like, you know, God. And that was the theme of the second book, and I've got to tell you, that was a bad day. I didn't wear the glasses or the tie ever again, let me tell you.
That's brilliant. I'm going to have to purchase it myself, Mick, and have a read of that.
Well, that was kind of the plan.
Good man. No, honestly, it's a joy to have you. The Smell of Football 2, make sure you check that out. And just quickly before we go, because Kickoff is fast approaching, the show's about to start as well, we're pre-recking this now. We're going to win today.
Yeah, everything's in our favour. I'm a great believer in that. I'm a great believer that when Spurs scored that goal and Burnley lost, I was a great believer that momentum has shifted our way. And yes, it'll be a bit nervy, I think, because Brentford are quite a good team, but I think with the fans and the will and I don't know, the magic of this place that I've experienced on so many times, yes, we will win.
Absolutely, Mick. Oh, thank you so much. I could talk to you for ages.
Absolute pleasure.
Well, the pleasure's all ours. It's brilliant.
No, the pleasure's half yours and the pleasure's half mine.
We'll carry on this. The game will be over.
Let's agree the pleasure's to be halved.
Mick Rathbone, everybody, absolutely fantastic. But now let's see the last time out at Goodison Park when we beat Chelsea 1-0.
Everton looking for a bit of momentum here, and Anthony Gordon across the penalty gets a shot away, and he wasn't too far wide. Left-footed effort from the 21-year-old. Chance here for Everton! Taken by Richarlison! What a massive goal! Chelsea punished a minute into the second half. Gordon, great turn. Here's Decore, another chance. Mykolenko, so close to getting Everton's second of the afternoon and his first ever goal for the club. Alonso puts it into the penalty area though. Mason Mounts off the post, and then brilliant from Jordan Pickford. What a fantastic save! Outstanding. Corner Chelsea. Pickford again, denying Chelsea again. Took it full in the face. Doucouré, Damari Gray. Oh, that would have finished it. So close to rattling in a second. Chelsea trying to work an opening. Kovacic with a low ball into the penalty area, and Kovacic has got it back and has turned it towards goal, and Pickford's on duty again, and his performance has been absolutely spot on. Another great save from the Everton goalkeeper.
We're back and the Brollies are out. Hopefully they won't blow us away, but we haven't got too long. We've just got to bunker down now, haven't we, and get to the end of the show and into the game. But them Chelsea highlights, again, I know we're talking a lot about the fans, but they have been so crucial to this run of form we're on.
Absolutely they have. I mean, but we all knew it really, didn't we? We knew when the chips were down, the Goodison faithful would come good, and it's been a difficult season for them as well. So, you know, it's not been an easy watch at times, but when we've needed them, they've stood up and they've stepped up. And as I said, as a club, it feels like we're united again.
Definitely.
Whereas we were broken a little bit earlier on in the season, and the atmosphere wasn't great, and that can be a difficult environment for the players to play in as well. And it's not easy for the fans to come and watch the kind of football that was being played. So, you know, as I keep saying it, the time to talk is at the end of the season, put right, and, you know, strategy as to what we do moving forward and what have you. But what an opportunity now, and like, look at it. I mean, you only have to hear it now, the atmosphere as the players come out for the warm-up, you know, and we're not even remotely full.
No.
So hopefully, I don't know for certain, I'm waiting for somebody to give me the heads up here, but, you know, Brighton was still winning with like literally seconds left.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gone to 1-1. That just sums it up, doesn't it? So that pretty much means that if we win the game, we're up.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if they'd lost it, you know, we could have got away with a draw potentially. But I think
let's win.
Yeah. Well, we should be. Look, I mean, we're playing Brentford here. You know, we should be full of confidence to go out there and win the game of football. So that, in some respects, that takes it out your hands a little bit. The thought process of perhaps being a little bit negative because we know a point would be enough potentially. Whereas now we need all three. Mm-hmm. So that fixes your mind anyway. And I'm sure, to be fair to Frank, he would have said that to the players anyway. Listen, forget draws. We're going to go and win the game. So, you know, it's good to know the fixtures have been good to us in the fact that we're playing last and we know what we've got to do.
Definitely.
So, go and execute it now.
Go and execute it. And as you said, it's disappointing, of course. We can't help but get drawn in to the results. But we've got to be going for a win today. And, of course, enormous credit to Brentford and you know, the manager and what they've done. They've been a real fantastic story of the Premier League, and their fans are brilliant. But today, we've just got to get the win. And someone who could be crucial in doing that, we've spoken a little bit about him earlier, Jordan Pickford. What a season he's having, particularly in recent weeks. Yeah,
Jordan has been absolutely outstanding. And as I say, when you need your big players to step up, you know, none more so than Jordan Pickford, because, you know, you look at the Chelsea game, you look at the Leicester game, some of the saves that man produced were absolutely out of the top drawer, and he's been excellent. Myself and Snods popped down to Finch Farm, you know, a few days ago, and we bumped into Jordan. He's looking $1 million as well.
Good
he
lad.
Looks a lean, mean fighting machine, I'm telling you. He looks in really, really good shape, the best shape I've ever seen him in. I still attribute everything to, well, not everything obviously, but a fair bit to Alan Kelly. I think the influence of Alan Kelly coming in and working alongside Jordan and all the goalkeepers down at Finch Farm has been huge and shouldn't be underestimated. He's a highly experienced man at international level, very, very calm and composed as a person, and I think it's been a breath of fresh air for Jordan. But take nothing away from Jordan himself. His standards have gone through the roof, and this last couple of weeks he's just been incredible, and we've needed him to be.
We have needed him to be, and I think, you know, Jordan is a player that people have spoken about his mentality and stuff. Obviously, he's very, like, a passionate, aggressive player, which I love about him and we love about him. But he has been seen as a psychologist as well to just help, you know, in these high pressure, and it doesn't get any more high pressure than what's been happening lately. That you know, the likes of Alan Kelly, as you said, rightly so, has been exceptional. But that side of things and taking things into his own hands to make him more all-rounded and better equipped to deal with stuff.
As I say, he's looking really, really fit and strong and focused more than anything. And that's the main thing, the focus for Jordan, because as you say, there's people who've got plenty to say about him, but he just quietly goes about his job, and he's done exceptionally well, and we'll need him to be every bit as good this afternoon at some points, because that's just the nature of the game.
Definitely. Well, hopefully it will be a big game for Jordan Pickford. If he can replicate the performance against Chelsea and Leicester, then we'll be sound on no doubt about that. But let's have a look now at Everton community and Frank Lampard getting involved.
All the lads that are on the programme have got the same difficulties as me, so we share that with each other.
I'm really proud of the programme, and I feel dead lucky that, you know, I get to be a part of it.
We're here today at Finch Farm, bringing our Imagine Your Goals football therapy team here to have a fantastic opportunity to meet Frank Lampard and the players, to celebrate the work that we've been doing over a decade, utilising football as a form of therapy with our Imagine Your Goals programme. We're sincerely grateful to Kazoo for their Goals for Good campaign, which has been helping support their Imagine Your Goals programme financially through the course of this season, which is going to make a massive impact and helping support hundreds and thousands of adult male and females across Liverpool experiencing poor mental health to engage in the programme, to engage with other like-minded people, to build their resilience, their confidence, their self-esteem, and ultimately improve their overall quality of life.
It's a huge importance, it's a priority for us all individually to try and manage our mental health as well as we can. Life will give you challenges in many ways, and the fact that we can support each other and communicate with each other is a huge thing for us. Players have the power, and the club does, to get messages out there because of the size of football in the Premier League and Everton as a football club. So I think we have a real strong responsibility to get involved, and I've been hugely impressed with everything that the club do, and now it'll be good to get much more active with it.
I'm Danny Lewis. I've been playing with Imagine Your Goals now for 10 years. I was a bit lonely at the time. Of course, when I joined the Everton community, the lads that I played with instantly gained a bond with each other. All the lads that are on the programme have got the same difficulties as me, so we share that with each other. You know, we all share it together. That's how it's helped me a lot.
Tamarind Hughes. I have been on the programme for about a year now, just under a year. Since I've been in the Imagine Your Goals programme, I've noticed that I've been able to control me psychosis better. With my mental health, it's been brilliant. You know, it gets me out the house, exercise, and I'm a Liverpool fan, but obviously I support Everton through the programme, you know what I mean, because they're brilliant for what they do for people with mental health and stuff. I just think it's brilliant what they do.
So I'm Denise. I've been playing with the Imagine Your Goals programme for about 6 years now. I mean, 6 years ago I was a completely different person. I really didn't want to join the programme, but I absolutely love football, and I just felt like I couldn't join because I was just so shy and so anxious. I went down to one of the sessions just to watch, had a little kick about. The lads were just amazing. Every single one of them just supported me right through. And yeah, 6 years on, here we are, and I never thought I'd be doing it. I mean, I've suffered anxiety, depression, and, you know, been in and out of hospital, but yeah, this just really helps, just gets you out, even if you're in a bad mood, it just makes you feel better. My confidence has grown hugely. I'm really proud of the programme, and I feel dead lucky that, you know, I get to be a part of it.
Hello and welcome back to Everton Live. I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Dave Curtis from Everton in the Communities, coordinator of the Veterans Programme. Now, Dave, thank you so much for joining us on Everton Live, and if you want to start by telling us about yourself, how you got involved and what you do with Everton in the Community.
Yeah, so I've been involved with Everton in the Community now since about 2011. I didn't even know Everton had a charity in 2011 until sort of I was in a bit of a rut myself. I went to Afghanistan in 2009, and I was hit by a suicide bomber, which ended my career in the military. And when I was in that rut, someone told me about Everton Community and the programmes that is ran through Everton Community, and they ran a veterans programme, and I was like, boss, come down, meet your heroes, all that good stuff, and I got down there straight away, and sort of moving on through the years, became a volunteer, started doing more and more stuff, and then I got a job at Everton Community working on a programme to support young people to get into work, and then the opportunity come up to grab the veterans programme, and now we've got a veterans provision. We've got sort of nearly 3 live programmes now under the veterans provision, supporting veterans from as young as, so I think it's about 28 all the way up to 105. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
quite the age range there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just brilliant, and I love hearing that. Firstly, it's tragic what happened to you, but that you found something that you could be a part of that entwines your beloved football club and meeting your heroes and stuff, but also like-minded people that have been through this, because it's not something that everybody's experienced. How important is it to found your sort of tribe and people that have shared the trials and tribulations, and you can unite over something?
Yeah, 100%. And the buzzword there is like-mindedness. Like-mindedness to me saved my life, and like-mindedness still saves and changes lives throughout the charity, especially the programme that I sort of run, and I have support from a sort of project support officer, a girl called Nikki, who supports sort of the programme every single day, and it's going strong, and it's growing and growing, as is the charity and the work we do around mental health.
It's fantastic, and you mentioned Nikki there, Nikki McGee, fantastic. I've done some work with her as well, and cannot speak more highly of you guys at Everton in the community and everything that you do for everybody. It's fantastic. And obviously May, it's been mental health month, is mental health awareness week this week, the end of it. This last few years, on top of everything else in life, it's really shown how important it is that we look after ourselves and our community's mental health, isn't it?
100%. And I think, everyone will know as an Everton fan, when we were told, when we shut our doors on the 13th of March, as staff, they made the decision to sort of close all our sites. We went home, and pretty much that afternoon, we were planning for for how we could support the community. And I think within a few days, we had a programme called Blue Family, and that ran and is still running today, still supporting people in the community. But it was crucial that us as a Premier League football club, we got out there and we supported our community, and that wasn't just Everton community, that was the whole Everton family, all joining together to support our beloved community.
It's brilliant, and that Blue Family campaign has been fantastic in supporting, as you said, the local community and wider as well, and that campaign is still running strong. But do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now as well with the veterans?
Yeah, with the veterans, so we have pretty much a jam-packed week. So we run sort of sessions, we split them in half, if you like. So we have like an age veterans provision, so that's anybody over the age of 65, and then we have an Everton Veterans Hub provision, which is sort of everyone sort of in between, if you like. So we run, so at the moment for the age veterans, we're doing Crown Green Bowls, which is amazing, and physical activity and getting people out, keeping them socially involved. And then Everton Veterans Hub, we run sort of a 10-week programme where we have different topics every single week that the guys can physically take away with them, other than a full stomach.
I'm going to come for me brekkie one of the Fridays as well and get involved. I was speaking to it'd be brilliant, absolutely brilliant to do that. It's brilliant to have you on the show and to hear about everything you're doing. Can you tell everyone, people that are looking to get involved, how they can get involved, where these events are, etc.? Yeah,
so Everton in the community has got its own website, so you can get on there and see all the provision that we offer. We have got lots and lots of mental health provision that you can get involved in. There's an email address to different staff members on there that you can get in touch with, and then we're on social media and everything as well. So get in touch, and we'll let's start the journey to getting better and to keeping our mental health good.
Fantastic. Just to finish on quickly, Dave, obviously a massive game today here at Goodison Park versus Brentford. We could potentially see Everton's Premier League security secure, Premier League status, I should say, secure for next season. We've got to get the win, haven't we?
Oh, 100%. And I think it's in our hands, isn't it? With the results that are happening around. I know Frank and the lads won't be looking at that, but for us as fans, we're like, hey, it's in our hands, let's go. So and it's a massive game, and I think we'll do it today.
Let's hope so.
3-1.
3-1. You've heard it here. We can hear the fans now on Goodison Road behind us as we're recording this. Dave Curtis, thank you so much for your time, for joining us, and for everything you do. You're a true hero.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from one of the boys ahead of this game.
A win today, Abdoulaye, could be massive. I think you saw that outside with the fans. Tell us what it was like arriving at Goodison Park today.
Yeah, it's been like that since a few weeks. You know, Goodison is on fire already. We know today you have to make a good result. You have to win to could be safe for the Premier League, and obviously we're looking forward to fight tonight.
You've not lost at Goodison Park since mid-March. Just how key have the fans been to that run of form?
Of course, the fans have been massive. You know, the support away from home been incredible. You know, at home especially, it's been, you know, incredible. So we are so happy to have the fans behind us, and just have to put the shift on the pitch.
This is it, on the pitch. What do you need to do today to beat this Brentford side?
You have to be strong. You have to play, I think the last couple of games you play, you have to play like that. Nothing else. You have to fight every ball, and hopefully you're going to win today.
So Abdoulaye Doucouré there ahead of this one. It's a big game for him in that midfield as well, isn't it, today?
Yeah, he's an important player for us because he brings us so much energy to our midfield. I mean, there's sometimes I watch him and I think to myself, you know, take the game to them, like, you know, go and be that attacking prowess going forward as well. I think he's got this idea that a lot of people look at him as a defensive midfield player. I think he's got the whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, he's got I think he's someone who can get better as well. There's still more to come from him. I think he has to actually believe that he can play a bit more as well. Mm-hmm. You know, have the confidence to go forward and take the ball with you, and, you know, be confident about what you're doing, because, you know, you look at the size of him, great athlete, great specimen of as a human being, but express yourself on the park and be a danger coming forward as well as defensively for us.
Definitely. Well, we saw, you know, certainly at the start of the season, he scored a couple of really important, really good goals for Everton as well. Yeah. We haven't seen him on the score sheet for a while, but you'd like to see that side from him then being a little bit more attacking.
Yeah, I think he's got it in his locker, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he showed it to us earlier on in the season, as you mentioned, Sarah, but, you know, he should be a midfield player who's scoring you 8 goals a season at least. He's got those kind of attributes. So, you know, it is difficult because we've not been in the best of form, and, you know, we're where we are for a reason. But a confident Doucouré is a big plus for us.
Definitely. When he is on form, he really is a tough player to play against. There's someone accompanying him in that midfield today, Andre Gomes. You know, he's been sort of in and out the side, largely played with injury. But on occasion when he's come in this season, he's done a solid job for Everton, hasn't he? And be looking to put in a big performance in that Royal Blue again today.
Yeah, you know, the one thing you're always going to get with Andre is composure in the middle of the park. And again, you look at Abdoulaye Doucouré and his energy levels. You look at Gomes, who perhaps hasn't got the energy of Abdoulaye, but on the ball he's a little bit more graceful on the ball than Doucouré.
A little bit of class, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got that bit of class about him. But again, Andre has been stop-start. You know, and you look at the midfield, you know, all the way through this season, it's been stop-start for all of them. You know, they've all had their injuries along the way, and it's just been so hard to get a settled side week in, week out for Frank, and it's tough going. But certainly, if Andre Gomes is 100% fit and up to speed, he's a really, really useful weapon to have in your midfield, just purely and utterly to just keep the ball and dictate the tempo of the game. Big
physical presence in there as well, isn't he, which we want to see. I believe we've got some of Jordan Pickford's stats. I know we were just talking about him, wax lyrical about him because he's been fantastic, but his performance against Chelsea was absolutely superb. Sorry, I thought we would have some of his stats on the screen. I can't actually see them, but no, it's a massive game for Pickford, isn't it, today?
Well, the best stat for Jordan Pickford that we haven't shown is the fact that he didn't concede a goal against Chelsea. That's the most important stat. Yeah. But he largely contributed to that with some outrageous saves. His goalkeeping, his level of authority on the day.
Here we go now.
Absolutely outstanding. I mean, 5 saves, at least 3 of them were top draw. I mean, the double save down here. You know, it's as good as he gets.
He had no right, did he?
He had no right to get across there, and then the save he made with his face as well. I mean, it's
he's hard as well, isn't he?
He's a tough cookie as well, and he needed to be. But it's like, it was unbelievable performance, and it was a heart in him. And that's why I just want to get this done and dusted today.
Yeah.
Let's get it wrapped up, because my heart cannot take it, and I'm sure everybody else. We just want to get it over and done with, because it's believe you me, it's miles easier being out there and having the opportunity to do something about it than be sat up in the stands. I feel sorry for everybody now. I know what everybody went through all those years ago.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's like control the controllable, isn't it? You know, all we can do as supporters now is make as much noise as we can and roar these boys on, hopefully, to what will be absolutely monumental victory for Everton. Anthony Gordon, just quickly want to touch on him as well. He was the hero against Man United, obviously deflected goal, but a goal nonetheless. He would love it again today, wouldn't he? He wouldn't care who scores, but he'll want to step up and take it into his own hands as well.
Well, Anthony's a local boy, and he's got blue blood, so he clearly is a fan's favourite. Go and grasp it. You know, we want a hero, and you don't care, I don't care who it is, they don't care who it is, just somebody get us over the line. And if that's young Anthony, great for him, great for his confidence going forward as well, because he's still learning. You know, he's been a breath of fresh air, but remember, he's still learning. Let's not expect too much too soon.
Let's not, that's it. There's a long way to go for Gordon, but a massive game for him and all of the other boys out there in Royal Blue today, and a massive game for our manager, of course, Frank Lampard. Let's hear for him for the final time ahead of this game.
Frank, what a welcome outside. I think the fans are clearly keen to play their part again in what could be another huge win.
Well, they've played their part since I've been here, but particularly in the last weeks. They amaze you more and more every week. I've never seen a welcome like that. I said that before Chelsea. I'll say it again, because they stepped it up. So the players now have to produce on the pitch. You know, it's great. It's brilliant. It's a support. It's up to us now. We've been shown the passion and the desire on the way in. We have to show it on the pitch.
You mentioned the Chelsea game there. Today you find yourselves in a much more advantageous position. How do you sum up the work that's been done, the resilience that's been shown to get you to this point?
Yeah, a lot of work. Resilience, players doing their jobs, doing it with a real work ethic and a desire to get results, and that's what we have to do. It actually should be the standard every week and every game, but we know that we've been chasing in recent weeks, and we've got ourselves in a position. Now something changes when you're in a slot what looks like a better position, and what you have to do is make sure we don't lose any of the edge that we've found, because we get overconfident or complacent or whatever. It's not the time for that. It's the time to carry on the way we're working.
3 changes to your side today, including a return to the starting lineup for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Tell us what the general thinking is there, and whether we might see a change in shape at all.
Well, I won't tell you about the change in shape, but Jared Brentford comes in because Michael Keane was not so well overnight, so that was forced on us at a late moment, which we've had a few of those, but confident in Jared. He's deserved his chance from how he trains, so he can come on and show it. And then obviously Dominic, I think, gives us another angle up front in terms of how we've been playing. The players up front have been playing really well, particularly off the ball. Great work ethic, all of them, and that's got us results. But today I just felt that Dominic might give us something different. He's fit and ready to go, and Andre comes in midfield to try and get on the ball for us a bit. So no, we have to rely on everybody. Players that come in with a little bit of freshness and different qualities have to bring them.
With Brentford, you've already masterminded a 4-1 win against them in the Cup in your first game in charge. That was a few months ago now, though. Do you feel they do pose a bit of a different threat?
Yes, they look like they'll be in a different shape. They're in really good form. Fair play to them. Really well coached, really good team, good individuals. They deserve their status in the league, which they've already sort of confirmed. And they'll give us a problem because they're, a confident team. Not much to lose, and they'll want to gain. They want to come and keep moving, getting points and moving up the table. So it's a completely different game from 2.5 months ago or 3 months ago. And we just have to worry about ourselves and be on it.